Good morning, everyone. We'll get started here in just a minute. Wait a couple of minutes, make sure everybody gets a chance to join us here. Welcome, Nick.
Hey.
All right, get going here in just a minute. Everybody can see my screen just fine? All right.
Yes.
Good deal, good deal. I should have some music playing or something while we're waiting to get started.
The Jeopardy music.
Yeah, we could play Jeopardy. That'd be good.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm just looking at emails real quick because there's always 10 or 12 messages that come through saying wanted to be on the roundtable today, but something came up either on a call with a doctor, or they have a patient or something. But even if they can join late, there's still some great information that can come from this. But we'll get started here in just one more minute. While we're waiting to get started, it's always fun to see where everybody's logging in from. So if you want to just say hi in the chat and let us know where you're logging in from, that'd be great. All right. I'll put my contact information up as well. Okay. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started, and I think Marie is recording, so we should be good to go, and then that way I can send out the recording to those that weren't able to make it today. But welcome everyone to the Community Pharmacy New Revenue Roundtable. My name is Breck. I'm one of the co-founders of ServeRx. Will's going to tell us a little more about that program here in just a minute, but let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go through a lot of information today, and no need to try to memorize all of it and figure it all out. We'll just take one or two nuggets of good information that you can take away from today, and let's just get started on doing something to help bring in additional revenue for your pharmacy. And absolutely love community pharmacies. I've been working with independent and small regional chains my whole career with community pharmacy. It's been about 20 years now, started back in 2003. And it's been a lot of fun working with these great people. But one thing is for sure, that if if you continue to do what you've always done, what's that, the sign of insanity, right? You got to be able to be more fluid and move with the times. Back when I first started helping community pharmacies, I know the profit margins were a lot higher than they are today. And there's actually a post that I put up on social media from Fortune that talks about that. And it's pretty interesting to see how, how far the reimbursements have decreased over the years. And back, 20 years ago, of course, there was about 36% profit margins is what we would see on dispensing medications. And today, we're lucky if you're getting 3 or 5% profit margins. And so you absolutely need to do something different. Here's the post that Fortune was talking about. It also talked about how many independents had gone out of a business, either sold their files or just closed their doors because of poor reimbursements. And so as my love for community pharmacies has been there, I've wanted to do anything I could do to help. And we have our program, but it only represents one little tiny fraction of community pharmacy when you're dealing with workers' compensation. However, a very profitable fraction of pharmacy if it's done correctly. We'll tell you more about that. But so that's why we launched these roundtables is we look at other non-insurance revenue that can be generated, as well as getting better and more fair reimbursements on the insurance side. And so that's what these roundtables are all about, is to help community pharmacies find new revenues. So turn some time over to Will to talk about our program in billing and what we do for community pharmacies. If you want to tell us about that real quick, Will.
Absolutely. Great morning, everyone. Just to piggyback off what Breck says, ServRx is, a great opportunity for pharmacies, community pharmacies, to add another revenue stream. It's a free service for pharmacies. We have no affiliations with the PBMs, and we're able to maximize the pharmacy's reimbursement on workman comp claims by keeping them out of the PBM networks. Okay, so for example, here you see a meloxicam. A patient was to come into your pharmacy, they needed a script filled. If you was to process that meloxicam through that PBM, your pharmacy may receive, $4 to $5. That's being generous from when I talk to pharmacies, they're saying. Now, that same medication, if you was to adjudicate through ServRx, has been in PCN, your pharmacy could be reimbursed anywhere from $91 to $101 we have seen. And then pharmacies ask, is this real? And I tell them, absolutely, this is what the pharmacy legally deserves. ServRx, we're not taking any hidden fees. We're giving the pharmacies what they legally deserve. And how we do that is we reimburse the pharmacy of AWP. So for brand medications, we reimburse the pharmacy 85% plus a $2 dispense fee. Then for generic medications, we reimburse the pharmacy 70% plus a $2 dispense fee. We have a live help desk that's available 7 days a week. So if the pharmacy was to receive a rejection for whatever reasons, maybe some demographics may not be inputted right, they can always give our help desk a call. And we're here to help the community pharmacy 7 days a week. Okay, again, this is a free service for the pharmacy, no enrollment fees, no annual fees, no hidden fees at all. We're contracted with, pretty much all the PSAOs that's out there except for Elevate, but they definitely vouch for our program and, know it's beneficial to their pharmacies.
Yeah, thank you, Will. It's an amazing program. It's literally, if you remember the old third-party solutions, TPS, which was the PCN in your pharmacy system, this is that same program, because the old TPS program unfortunately was acquired by a big PBM. They went to the dark side, and so ServRx is the new and improved TPS to help pharmacies. And like Will said, most of our community pharmacies are already contracted through their PSAO, so you just got to get enrolled and use it. Doesn't cost you anything to use us. It may cost you $50, $60, $70 if you don't use us. So always a good benefit to use us. So let's talk about some of the other amazing programs that you should be considering. You know, there's a lot of other opportunities with this direct bill and bypassing the PBM through even auto programs and other, you know, personal injury or even cash pay. And then there, you know, there's an opportunity to also become the pharmacy program for your local city, your local municipality. And instead of them, you know, contracting with somebody clear across the country, why not use your independent pharmacies right there in their backyard? So, you know, the software that we use for claims adjudication does the exact same thing as a PBM software. And so we can certainly help you set those programs up. So get involved with self-insured employers in your neighborhood. Get involved with the city and the county. The next time that they're going to go out for a request for proposal, you know, but participate in that. We can help with that and help those self-insured employers and those municipalities. So municipalities are self-insured. They're using your tax dollars to pay for those pharmacy services. Well, they might as well keep that revenue local. You know, use your pharmacy. You become that pharmacy provider for them. And it's usually about a 30% cost savings. If you look at a PBM and when they're processing a work comp claim, I don't know what the spread is on you know, managed care, Medicare, and commercial plans, but I can tell you in workers' comp, the PBM is pocketing $80 to $120 per transaction. Okay, that's what they're putting in their pocket. Yeah, you're the pharmacy who owns the medication. You have the overhead. You have the employees. You actually consult with the patients, tell them how to use the medication, and make sure they don't have any drug interactions. And you get $4, and the PBM gets $100. Doesn't seem right. So if you take that $100 away from the PBM and you become the manager of that program, it's going to be about a 30% savings to the employer group, plus the pharmacy is going to get a much better reimbursement as well. All right, so moving forward, and for some reason my play button is not working. I need to relaunch the presentation, but oh boy, yeah, sorry about that. Let's relaunch this here.
We always have a love-hate relationship with technology.
Yeah, specifically Zoom, huh? Zoom is always a fun one. All right. I'm gonna just, if it's okay, and I'll have to go in and edit the recording of this. We're just gonna shut this down. I'm gonna relaunch. Let me stop even sharing here. Sorry about this. Be up and running here in just a second. All right, this presentation seems to be wanting to work, so that's great. All right. All right, fast forward this wheels part. Oops, too much fast forward. Okay, here we go. So wellness centers, there's an opportunity for community pharmacies to actually become a wellness center in their community. And there's a program that's called the Fountain of Youth that can set this whole thing up from A to Z for the pharmacy, and even do the billing and collections, everything for them. So amazing opportunity. I'm going to tell you a little more about that here in just a minute, but let's talk about the low-hanging fruit. That's why I've got an orange blossom picture there. Is the low-hanging fruit with billing, and billing on the clinical side or the medical side versus just billing for the pharmacy. So I had a client who did almost 10,000 flu shots last year, and their reimbursement was approximately $167 $1,400. So they were getting on average about $17, $18 per shot, and then billing that on the pharmacy side. So just like in your contracts with, Optum and Express Scripts and Caremark, you're getting treated, like the pharmacy. So you're getting cut back on those reimbursements. If a clinic gives that same flu shot, they're getting $120 for it and $140 for the high dose. So there is a way to get you credentialed and able to bill on the medical side for the same services. So it's no extra work. You're doing the exact same amount of work. So for this particular client, his reimbursement is going to be $1.1 million on the same, 9,800 flu shots. So no more extra work, but basically 10x on his reimbursement. So it's something very easy to get set up. If you're providing any vaccinations, you definitely need to talk to us. We need to help you get set up so that you can do that. One of the more exciting programs that's just getting launched is this at-home tests. This is the closest thing that I can describe as mailbox money for our community pharmacies. You have no work. It doesn't take any of your techs or your pharmacy time to administer it. It simply is putting up signage that has your QR code. That QR code is specific to your pharmacy. You're dealing with a sensitive issue with STDs. And so they don't want to talk to you anyway if they are concerned that they might have an STD. They just simply scan the QR code, and the lab drop ships the home test right directly to the patient and sends you payment between $10 and $15 for every test. You didn't have to do anything. And now, if they do have a positive result, then they're set up with a telehealth visit. So again, a private consult. So they're not having to go to their PCP and tell them that they have an STD. They do it through a telehealth visit, and then the antibiotic is just sent right over to the pharmacy for pickup. So an amazing program that I call it, mailbox money. You literally need to just get set up with this program, launching in 2 weeks. So for more information, definitely reach out to me. So with the clinical services, they're utilizing telehealth. So this is about a 40% less cost for the insurance, or if the patient is doing cash pay, it's a much more affordable way to get health care. And you can bring this right into the pharmacy if you have some clinical space for it. So it starts with a telehealth visit. And then, this is a really cool technology that's just part of the program. It gets the stats right there through the camera on the tablet or whatever is being used as the telehealth device. So you can get, without going in and having an admin or somebody having to put the pressure cuff on and all that. It's all done through the facial recognition, and can even tell stress levels of the patient. Really, really cool technology. And let's talk about future medicine. I'll just play this really short video.
Facts. According to a recent report from Pharmacy Times, one size evidently does not fit all when it comes to medications. The pharmaceutical industry has produced some blockbuster medications, but has remained unremarkable at the patient or the individual patient level, with only an estimated 30 to 50% of patients fully responding to many of the leading conventional drugs. Some treatments just don't work for some patients. Did you know that 99% of the population has at least one variant in their DNA that doesn't allow them to metabolize certain medications? The way patients respond to treatments is heavily affected by their individual genetic makeup. variables and complex biology. We now have the science to personalize treatments. For more information, please join the Facebook group Health.
So it starts with pharmacogenomics. We have a great lab partnership that will pay the pharmacy $110. Now that covers the collection. It's very non-invasive. It's just the cheek swab. You send that off to the lab, and when the results come back, then you sit down and do the interpretation or the patient consult. And the lab, like I said, pays $110 for that. After credentialed, then you track your hours, and that average interpretation is $150 reimbursement. So you can see how important it is to consider getting credentialed on the medical side. So again, starts with pharmacogenomics. Then also wanted to mention almost every medication that is dispensed has some kind of a nutrient depletion in it. If somebody's getting a statin, they need coenzyme Q10, right? If somebody is on omeprazole, they need something to help with the bone density. If they're on a stomach, something that upsets their stomach, they need something to settle their stomach. So these are, programs that some of your PSAOs or your wholesalers like McKesson have these nutrient depletion programs. Well, there's another way of measuring that level of antioxidants with patients, and that's this S3 bioscanning device. So we've partnered with Functional Wellness Network, some pharmacists that started this whole program to help pharmacies bring in non-insurance revenue. And so you can actually do a scan. You can't own this scanner. They only lease it because it was developed by the NIH. And so you just lease the scanner, but it goes back to the whole, test, therapy, test, or retesting. So if somebody has high blood pressure, then here's the therapy. It's medication. Then you retest them to make sure the medication is working. If somebody has an infection, then they get on, the antibiotic to get well. If somebody, is low in certain nutrients, this bioscanner tells you that. So it gives them a score, and then you put them on a program to improve that score, and then you bring them back in and retest them to show the improvement. I have a cool little worksheet that Functional Wellness gave me, and I just put in doing, if you did just 5 patients a day, just on the scanning. If you were charging, $20 or whatever for the to do the scan and then rescan them, you could see that can generate, over 70,000 just in the first year of income, just doing the, showing them that they're missing some vital nutrients in their diet and get them on a supplement. So again, selling more of your front end products. One of the other programs that we recommend is blood analytics. So Marianne isn't here today, but she normally could present this to you. She has Smart Labs, and Smart Labs is an amazing program using artificial intelligence to help identify blood markers to see where there are deficiencies. This is literally catching sicknesses or illnesses, diseases before they happen. And so it's using lab smarts to be able to identify. So somebody gets their blood results back. Oh, it's, doctor, oh yeah, you're in the normal range. Well, what does normal mean from one patient to the next? Well, lab smarts can actually tell you, okay, what are these markers lining up to show what's really going on here? And yes, you may eventually have, diabetes down the road because of how your markers are matching up. Amazing program. So I'm going to show you this real quick. This is a new medical device that I personally went out and met with the founders of the company. They're out of Germany. I don't speak any German. They spoke very little English. We had to have a translator there, but was able to negotiate a master distributorship of a medical device, the first of its kind, that improves microcirculation and helps eliminate inflammation. Well, out of the 45,000 disease states that we know of, over 90%, it's actually 92%, originate from inflammation. So if you can decrease inflammation and improve circulation, you're going to have fewer diseases. And so this is the first one of its kind to get FDA approval, class 2 NGX approval. This is a blown up muscle. This is one individual arterial that's bringing, oxygen and nutrients to the extremities. This is one little tiny capillary. I believe this is a leg muscle. So this capillary is a little bit just lethargic. It's just not taking a lot of nutrients in. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see that this is the venule that's taking the metabolic waste out and going back to the lungs to be reoxygenated. So just show you real quick, before treatment, this is how lethargic the blood is moving in here. After only 3 minutes of stimulation, it's flowing naturally. After 6 minutes of stimulation, it's like the Autobahn. And then you'll even see more activity with the white blood cells over here on the right-hand side. So this is 30 minutes after a session. So it's not, you don't have to be on the device to get the benefit. It's been recorded to last up to 18 hours or longer in patients. I'm doing a treatment here on Slick Willie Shaw. So Will, who you heard from earlier today, used to play for the Globetrotters for 12 years. Broke his ankle over in France playing a few years back. So we've got him on the med bed here so he can get the full body experience. This is the actual medical device here. It has 2 ports. One is going to the med bed. Most patients' heads will be about where Will's shoulders are. He just happens to be really tall. The other port I've got going to his ankle because he broke that. So there's a lot of scar tissue there. And so we're breaking down some of that scar tissue on his ankle. So just wanted to show you that, what the medical device looks like. And then here's an independent study that was done showing all of the different PEMF medical devices that are out there. Again, the one that we use is BEMER, that's a part of the FOI therapy program, is the only one that has the FDA approval. But you can see by this independent study the reason why it got FDA approval. All the other products on the market do show some improvement, maybe 10% increase in vasomotion, but the BEMER device or BEMER device actually has a 30% increase. So they put all these patients on day 1, day 2 to see what their oxygen utilization and vasomotion was. And then they took them all off on day 4. You can see day 4, there was a decrease, but it only decreased to even higher than where the next best PEMF device was at on, when they were fully using it. So one of the reasons why it's the one that got the FDA class 2 approval. We've identified 4 different revenue streams for the pharmacies on that one device by itself. Bioelectronics is going to be big business. You can see big pharma and big tech are partnering up to develop more of these tools, and we have access to the very first one. This is another program for that's also, again, part of the whole wellness system of FOI therapy. That is, imagine it's similar to remote patient monitoring on steroids. So it's like physical therapy and remote patient monitoring combined with a really nice billable for the clinic, and it improves outcomes by 70%. So if you've ever gone to a physical therapist, you go in, you have, they torture you basically. It's horrible, but it's all good for you. They torture you, and then they hand you a couple of sheets of paper, and it has diagrams.
And you pay for it.
Yeah, and you pay for the torture. Yeah. But then they hand you a couple sheets of, with diagrams of the exercises you're supposed to be doing at home. Well, only 20-30% of people even attempt to do the exercise at home. And out of that 20 or 30%, how many of them are actually doing it correctly? Well, again, using the technology of your camera right here, it maps you on how or the patient on how they're doing it. If you're supposed to be doing a deep squat and you're only going 80% of the way, it's going to tell you, nope, you got to go 20% more. So it actually makes the patient, it shows them, and it shows them before and after, so you can see their progress. An amazing tool that's being used in the for therapy. So again, that whole all-inclusive program, you don't need to know, all the ins and outs of everything, or if there's just one thing you say, hey, we really want to incorporate that into our pharmacy, we can see that really helping patients and also bringing in additional revenue. Great. You can do a Chinese kind of menu approach of this, or a la carte approach. If you want the whole complete all-inclusive program and you have space for it, then it's credentialing, licensing, everything, all of the medical equipment, everything all combined. And we've even lined up, I'll talk about that in just a minute, but here it's generating for the pharmacies who have already set this up anywhere between 20 and 35,000 per month as what they're generating. And that's, that's basically 2 patients a day is all that they're seeing. Yes, there is an investment to get it set up, but the ROI is like 2 or 3 months. So you get your full return on investment in a couple of months. And we've lined up with Walter. I didn't see Walter here today, but Walter Grain has grain funding, and most of our pharmacies qualify for 0 interest for up to at least 15 or 18 months. Okay. So 0 interest, ROI is in 3 or 4 months. You're making that 20 to 35,000 month after month afterwards. So absolutely, if you have room, if you have space, you need to consider it. We're also looking at one other medical device that hasn't started yet. We're just doing a pilot here in Arizona at some pharmacies, but it takes up much less space. Basically need a 4 by 5 foot area. So you could put it in the corner and just draw a curtain, and patients would come in for treatment. And that one doesn't take any assistance or anything to run. It's almost kind of like the blood pressure cuff machines that patients would go in and stick their arm in to get their blood pressure, that type of concept, but it's doing something totally different. It's going to help prevent about 40 some odd different diseases. We'll go into that later, because it's just a pilot program. So wanted to turn some time over to another one of our sponsors here, MyShield. We've got Scott here. This is an amazing product. I absolutely love it. I use it every day. This one bottle right here, I've had for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, and I use it every day. The reason being,
at least that long.
Yeah. Is that you only have to put it on every, 5 or 6 hours, because it, FDA says it lasts 4 hours, so it must last 5 or 6 hours. But yeah, Scott, you're the expert. Let me have you tell about it instead of me.
Well, there's nothing better than a customer talking about your product. I mean, that's terrific. But the main thing I want to tell people about these products is that they're FDA approved and EPA registered on if they're talking about the disinfectants. They're water-based. They feel totally different than anything you've ever put on your skin before. It doesn't hurt, doesn't sting. Like the hand sanitizer that Breck was just showing you, it comes out in this foam that dries very quickly, and there's no residue, no fragrance. The most common comment to me is, Scott, I think it's just water. I don't think it's doing anything. And I said, well, it is 98% water, so that's kind of like the delivery system. That's you're coating your hands with a microscopic barrier, flexible barrier that's killing the germs and pathogens that are coming around. And we do it in a positive, negative way, because just like the slide that Breck's showing, is that we're actually pulling them together as quick as we can with a magnetic charge in the product, so that it works even faster than just randomly having germs fall on it. Our products range from wound care to laundry additives to hand sanitizers and soaps. And the disinfectants we have 2 disinfectants that are on the N list, which is an EPA list that if you were a public place, like a government office or a restaurant or something, that you have to use a product that kills COVID. So that's the N list, and there's only a handful of products that are water-based. And so the great thing about that is that I have studies that show a much longer kill time, but it'll kill germs in a persistent, uninterrupted way for up to 28 days without reapplication. And again, water-based, so you're safe to do anything you want with it. And instead of me driveling on forever and trying to educate you in science, it's just give me a call or send me an email, and I'm more than happy to explain things. And we're kind of in the middle of relaunching the branding of the product. The original name of my company was Next Level Products, which is a fine name, but doesn't really tell you what we're doing. So Germs RX is the new name that we're going under, and the new website will be up pretty soon, next few days, I hope. And it'll be germsrx.com. Toll-free number is 888-GERMS-RX. So that worked out pretty well. And my email is myshield@germsrx. So I think we got it pretty well nailed down as far as that goes. And I really am excited about the different avenues that we're doing. And the pharmacy program, we're going to include these products. If you do a health hub, we're going to be able to make sure that the patients are taken care of as far as in a germ-free environment. And then also, if you want to be a reseller, we certainly have some decent profit margins on the products, so that you can stand behind an FDA-approved product that actually is doing some good instead of putting chemicals on your skin. And so I appreciate your time, and I'll give it back to Breck.
All right, thanks, Scott. And I love his wipes. He's got these kind of like handy wipes, and there's a travel size that's smaller, but the full size are, I mean, the sheets are like huge. Like I'll take one sheet out, and I travel. I have 2 grandkids now, and when I travel with them on a plane, you know they're going to touch everything. They're going to touch the armrest, the tray table, the magazines. They're going to be on the floor. They're everywhere during a flight, and so pre-flight, I take out one sheet, I wipe both kids down head to toe, and now I know they're protected for the next 4 hours. Yeah, amazing product.
And because it's water-based, they last a lot longer when you're wiping things down, and they're not alcohol-based. So the alcohol, after just 30 seconds, it's dried up, and you're not killing any germs. So these are, if you're wiping your arms or hands or face or whatever for the kids, the grandkids, but you can now take it and wipe what's around them, the chair in front of you, and the tray table, and every armrest and everything. So you're getting a 4+ hour kill on everything that you put the wipes to. There's also a study that just came out for us end of last year that these wipes remove fentanyl as well.
Yeah,
So that's a big deal, and I'm in conversations with some law enforcement people that it's going to be a real big use for them.
yeah, absolutely.
A little bit of fentanyl is terrible, and and so you just don't want to risk anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I need to start charging the airline for what I'm doing, because I do the same thing. After the kids get wiped down, then I wipe the trays and the seats and everything down. I need to start charging them for that sanitization.
You're the second flight attendant crew.
All right, thanks, Scott. his contact information is up in the chat there. And another product I thoroughly love and am an ambassador for and tell people about it every chance I get is BioLite. And we've got Chris here, who is the expert. And Chris, tell us more about this amazing product.
Yeah, thanks, Breck. I really appreciate, everything you're doing to support us. What BioLite is it's the only clinical hydration product on the market that's an oral version of an IV bag. So it has the same amount of electrolytes as an IV bag. So 6 to 7 sports drinks in one bottle. And also doesn't have all that sugar in it. It has a little bit of dextrose to help the electrolyte process in the body, but not enough to really spike blood sugar. Then he's added some ingredients that are nausea and liver functioning related. So essentially what it is it's an ultimate recovery product and really cool origin story. That gentleman there in the middle, his name's Dr. Trey Rollins. He created this when his wife, Janine, was going through chemo treatments and breast cancer. She just was, so dehydrated, she was going to have to quit therapy. So what he did was he used his 30 years of anesthesiology background to formulate something that she could use at home. And now we have about 6,000 pharmacies that carry the product. About 2,500 of those are independent. It's stocked at all the major wholesalers. And we are right now going through the conference circuit and connecting with stores and helping them think about ways to utilize it. Obviously, with the heat and humidity right now, you have a lot of people suffering from heat exhaustion, just a lot of cramping, a lot of migraines, brain fog, nausea. So our stores are applying it to those people working outside in the heat or athletes. Right now, we got football practice going on. So a lot of our pharmacy partners are connecting to the football programs at their local high school and using it as a bridge to get some of those moms back into the store. So love to talk to any stores. Breck has my contact information and would love to connect.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Amazing product. And, anytime, not often, but occasionally I feel a bad headache coming on and boom, I drink one of those and it's gone. It's amazing product. So we have one other product sponsor that I didn't see Eddie here today. This is a cool product. He'll actually send you a couple, of these to resell at your pharmacy for free. You won't even charge you for them just to get the program started. Replaces a couple of medications, retails for, $99. So he's going to send you $200 a free product if you want to start this program at your pharmacy. It uses the natural way of lubricating the eye, so it fixes dry eye. Amazing story he has. His wife suffered from dry eye, and she had a bad reaction to one of the medications, and so the eye doctor said, "Hey, you just need to heat up a compress and put it over eye and let that draw out the natural oils from the eyelashes." And so he found himself running from the master bedroom upstairs all the way downstairs to the kitchen to reheat the little beads in the compress, and running back up and doing that a few times. He's like, "This is ridiculous. I got to find a better way." And so his first solution was he bought another microwave, put it in the master closet. So now he only had to go from the bed, to the master closet to warm up the beads. And then that even got frustrating. So he's like, "I'm going to come up with a solution." And so he figured this solution out, plugs into a USB charger, and just an amazing heat and compress for bringing out the natural eyes. But again, Wizard Research will give you a free product. Just contact me and I'll get you connected with Eddie for that. Didn't see Cindy here today, Cindy Gordon, but also if you're providing medical benefits for your employees, there may be more cost-effective ways to do that as well. And so Gordon Health Group can help. Her expertise is really small business. So she's like, 30 employees or less is really kind of her sweet spot. So if you're an independent owner, this might be a good solution for you, and I can certainly get you in contact with her. Is anyone here headed out to Dallas in a couple of days? So Lisa Foss, we always like to give her a pat on the back and props for the work that she does. Very similar to what I'm explaining to you here today, and in fact, our credentialing expert that helps our community pharmacies get credentialed so they can get the higher reimbursements. Will be one of the keynote speakers at this conference this weekend. So if you're going to be in attendance there, look for look to have see that presentation on how to get credentialed. So I want to make sure you're all aware of the Pharmacy Profit Summit that happens each year. And that's all that let Kent into the room here. That's all that we have to present today. I know it's a lot of stuff, so I'm going to put my contact information back up in the room or in the chat one last time so that you've got it, because I'm happy to do a one-on-one. There's a Calendly link in my contact information. You just simply click on that Calendly link and schedule something on my calendar so we can go into any one of the details that we talked about. Kent just joined us. Kent is the guru and expert for the S3 bioscanner that I presented earlier. Want to say hi and give him, it looks like you're in the car, so don't crash, Kent. But Kent is a pharmacist and must have a bad connection. I just lost him, but there he is. He's a pharmacist that owns some pharmacies up in the Bay Area. And then he did some compounding, did some infusion, and then insurance reimbursements just kept going down and down and down. It was pretty hard for him to stay in business. And then he found the solution for doing the test therapy test. Anything you want to add, Kent, if you're in a good spot to talk?
If you can hear me, apologize for that. So my pharmacy margins were creeping down, and the filling and billing that I'd done for even the compound weren't that. I put in
Yeah, he's commuting all the time between Sedona, Arizona, and the rest of civilization. There's not a whole lot up in Sedona area, so sometimes he's got some pretty sketchy cell coverage. Yeah,
I'll be in private soon. So the whole thing is we've got to find multiple streams of non-insurance income. I don't care what it is, really. And if it creates better patient outcomes and
yeah. So sorry about that, Kent. You're breaking up, but I've got your contact information for anyone that wants to look at the whole program with Test Therapy Test and the S3 bioscanner. Amazing clinical solution that Kent and his team have put together, and it's why it's part of the roundtables here. But appreciate you coming, everyone that was here and participated. I want to thank Scott. I know a few people have had to jump off because they have other meetings going, but thank you, Scott, for presenting today, and Will and Chris, and that's what we have to offer. Like I said, tomorrow, it's a lot of stuff, and so if one of the pharmacies you're consulting with, if they just start with one thing, let's just kind of get a foot in the door with one thing, then we can expand and add additional services. And I keep getting new things all the time because people know that I'm doing these roundtables now. They know I have a network of 20,000 community pharmacies, and so that's how I got connected with this latest medical device. Scott hasn't even seen it or heard about it yet, but it's It's using UVB. So it's all of the positive health benefits you get from the sun without the UV that gives you cancer. And in fact, these treatments have been shown to reduce the possibility of getting melanoma, which people thought originally was a cancer from the sun. And so, yeah, there's about 40 different diseases that it helps deter, including prostate cancer, about 18 different cancers, and even the common flu and colds can be prevented with this.
Well, let's get everybody signed up on that, man.
Light treatment, yeah, and they're Scottsdale based, so we're doing the pilot right here in Arizona first. It's all done through the app on the phone, so the patient just has the app. Doesn't take any of the pharmacy's time whatsoever. They just come in with their app, they set it up. You know, basically you're getting treatment in your torso from your chest to your belly button for 4 minutes. You turn around and get your back for 4 minutes, and you've got your maximum dose of vitamin D and all the benefits of sunlight without the harmful UV.
You know, those, Mike, can you hear me, Breck?
Yeah.
Yep. So these multiple streams of non-insurance income are the key to our future. So yes, you know, the clawbacks and everything else, but Breck is right. And that's what got me using the tester and being able to test therapy test. And it could be coenzyme Q10 for every statin patient. It could be whatever wellness program or vitamins or etc. But, you know, when I was a child in my family pharmacy, we were the health center of our community, and we need to return to that with these various programs. So I urge you to engage in this. And I'm, you know, my passion is independent pharmacy. Yeah, I work with MDs and DOs too, but as a pharmacy owner, I'd love to share this with you independently. We can do with Breck or independently, whatever, Breck, but the ability to create something different from Walgreens and CVS is what this is, in addition to being clinical and create income for the pharmacy. So I used to take this to health fairs. I took the tester. I mean, it's, you know, NIH invented. It's got millions invested in it. It's clinical, peer reviewed, but can we make money with it? Absolutely. Because yeah, sure, I believe in functional medicine and integrative and all that stuff, but if we can't monetize it, doesn't make any difference, man. We've got to do that in our pharmacies.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
You know, we just got at our location. Sorry, I couldn't get on earlier, Breck, but I'd love to talk to any of these gentlemen another time, whenever works for you, or Chris, or anybody here.
Yeah, we've
Because-
got a couple of one-on-one meetings that are in the process of scheduling just to chat with you directly. So as soon as those firm up, I'll let you know. Make sure your schedule's clear.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't get on earlier, guys, but you know, stick
Are
with
you
Breck.
going to Dallas, Breck?
Pardon me?
I'm not personally going to Dallas.
Okay.
So you know, someone from my team is, and then I'll try to get out there for the next one that she does, next meeting. I am, however, going to NACDS, the National Association of Chain Drugstores, and that's where we need, you know, we'd be happy to sample
That's
my
what I
show.
was going to. I wanted to talk to you about that, so I won't waste time here. I just want to make sure. Okay.
Yep. No, by all means, we you know, I have my travel stuff that I take with me anywhere I go, because you're constantly shaking hands the whole time. So every 4 hours I just reapply and then I don't worry about whose hands I'm shaking.
I'll
Absolutely.
see you, gentlemen.
Thanks.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. And let's help get the word out that the next one is, I believe, on the 16th. Let's see if we can't get a few more of our pharmacy partners here for the 16th.
We'll
Great.
twist some arms.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, I got to jump into my next meeting. Take care, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Bye now.